It's the end of June, so that means it's time for my June wrap-up. All the books I read in June. The first book I read was, I don't have them with me because I brought them back to the library, but the first book I read was The Time Traveler's Wife by Audrey Niffenegger? Niffenegger? I don't really know how to pronounce her name. I wanted to read this because I really like the movie and I think it's a cool concept with the time traveling and all that. However, it was kind of confusing about the, like, when he's, like, in time and then he's, like, the present time is, like, the present guy is back in time, like, yeah, the way, the time traveling was confusing. Still cool, but confusing. Also, it was really long. I feel like it was kind of hard to get through. The conversations were very, like, cool because they felt like really, like, realistic, but there was still something that made me, like, struggle through it, something that made it kind of boring, kind of long. I don't know. And then the next book I read was Like No Other by Una Lamarche. This is a reread and I still liked it, and it's just a cutesy little romance. It was fast paced, so I read it, like, really quickly. The ending wasn't to my satisfaction, but then that's just, like, a personal thing. Like, it was still happy for her, like, it was still happy, like, for the characters, but obviously I would have wanted to go with the way that I wanted to, I guess. The next book I read was Animal Farm by George Orwell. This was short, so I got through it pretty quickly. Yeah, it was pretty easy, I guess, to read. It had a nice cover, which I can't show you. It was like a newsprint. It had, like, nice, like, red color on it. It was pretty funny reading about how the animals are acting like the humans, like the way that the animals kicked the humans out of the farm and they, like, took over and they're, like, acting like how the humans would act, but they're animals. It was pretty, like, funny and, like, unique and stuff. It's also an excellent example of how humans try and, like, destroy each other's lives and all that. George Orwell also wrote 1984, which I'd like to read as well. I tried to read that before, like, a couple months ago, but I couldn't, like, get into it, so I'm gonna try it again at some point. After that I read Songs of Innocence and Experience by William Blake. I'm not really into poetry like that, or really, like, at all, but I just grabbed it from the library to try it. It's not for me, I didn't really like it, I'm not into that sort of thing, but it's good to try new things. The next book I wrote, which I still have with me, the next book I read was Possession by AS Byatt, with a pretty cover, an old painting cover. This was, like, long. It was historical though, so I really liked that about it, but it was long, so it was hard to get through. It was kind of boring at parts. However, if you like art history and arts and authors and books and writers and painters and all of that is all in here. Like, they talk about those kind of things, like, a lot. So if you like that sort of thing, that's for you. So I liked that part of it, but there's still something that was, like, boring-ish. So yeah. And after that I read The Invention of Wings by Sue Monk Kidd. This was a reread, I still liked it. It's historical, I liked historical, again, I like that, so bonus for that. It was fast paced and easy read. What I really liked about this is just the words just flow. It's so nice to find a book where the words just, like, flow and then you can just read it on a nice flow. I don't know how else to describe it, but it was really nice writing. Like, the writing made it really easy to read, you know, and I like finding that sort of thing. And the last book I read for June was Macbeth by William Shakespeare. Ta-da! This is a reread from school. I want to try it again to see if I could get through it, and I couldn't. I just kind of, like, skimmed it, because, I mean, I don't know, I found it pretty boring, and of course the writing's just, like, ugh. Hard to read, I find. But I also read Romeo and Juliet and Midsummer Dream in school, so I'd like to try and reread those ones. Hopefully I'll do better with those two than I did with Macbeth, because it was awful. Just, like, just so many words. So those were the 7 books I read. I like to read more in June. More in June. I like to read more in July, obviously, so I'm gonna try and do that. Although it's already like July. When I'm filming in this, it's July 3rd. No, it's the 4th. It's July 4th, Independence Day. So, yeah. And actually I haven't finished any books yet for July, but hopefully I can get started reading more. Okay, see you later.